it along to you, and then in a few seconds you should have access. So now I'll quickly share what the repository would look like. And this would be the home screen that you get once you're in and you have access. And it's titled the GUBIC repository. So you would then just click on the folder, and it would come up with the respective subfolders. And I'll just quickly run through this GUBIC document archive folder, which is essentially just some documents from the previous meeting that we had in June 2019, some GUBIC materials, and then this meeting that we're currently having, as well as some co-authorship guidelines and contact information, etc. So anything that we do upload resulting from this meeting, we'll just put in this folder. Currently, it's just the updated schedule that we have in there now, but I guess we'll upload all the talks, any products or documents that come out of this meeting, we'll upload to that specific folder. So then I'll start with what this folder is called data raw. So obviously it's all the raw data, and it's currently all the way to 0064. So this is just the naming convention that we've used for each of the data sets. So each folder contains a unique data set. And what we've done is housed a lot of this information in this metadata folder. And that's this working sheet called city locations working. And this is what that metadata sheet looks like. And specifically in the source ID is where you'd find the data that is in those folders that I just went through. So data 0001 would be then this folder in the raw data folder. So that has been transferred to this metadata spreadsheet. We're still working on getting all, I think they're currently 64 folders, and we're building on that each and every week. So the metadata won't have all of those folders integrated as of today, but we are working on getting that done. If you do have data that you would like to upload, we do have instructions on how to do that, and I'm happy to send that to you. We have a spreadsheet template for species lists, etc. And we have metadata sheet with instructions of exactly what each and every column means in this metadata spreadsheet. So I won't go through each column, but essentially we have the cities, the countries, some latitude and longitude information, the citation. So if it's from a published data set that you, for example, got off Dryad, which is an open repository for data, you can just add that information there. And at the moment, we're not necessarily requiring everyone to add in this type of information. We can glean this information from other sources, so don't worry too much about that at the moment. And then there are these other columns which go from, is it a plot scale? What is the plot size? If any of this information is available in data that you're uploading, you can please add that in. And then down to the taxonomic groups. So whether or not this data set pertains to, for example, woody plants, mammals, birds, and then you would just, if it does, you would add a 1, if it doesn't, a 0. But if you are unclear on anything, please let me know. I'll probably just send another email to the GUBIC group, which has grown quite a bit in the last few months, just reiterating all of these things. So I'll send along attached instructions and the templates for everyone to look through. And of course, if you do have any issues, you're welcome to just let me know, and I'll try and help as much as I can. So going back to the GUBIC repository folder, we've been through the top 3 folders, and the next one is this folder called spatial data. And of course, this is where we house our spatial data, so things like shape files, etc. And this is at sort of the city, country, global scale. So at the city scale, we would then have, for example, Cape Town and Toronto. I've added some data here recently Cape Town, for example, a lot of this spatial data is open access, so it's from City of Cape Town's data portal. Similarly, Toronto have, and the surrounding municipalities have open access data portals. So for example, you'd go to Toronto and then all this spatial information is available to you. We're obviously needing to grow this this folder so we can do some nice spatial analyses, which I'm sure some of you have planned. So if you do have spatial data for your city that you are able to upload to a public repository, then please go ahead and do so. I think that would be fantastic. Then the last folder is species lists. And this is just basically like lists of species and some other additional information, but it's really just and I'll just quickly go through some examples here. We've got quite a good range of selection of cities here already. So these are just basically species lists for any taxa that we have, and it it extends to any taxonomic groups. And I know Mark's recently published an excellent comprehensive data set for the vascular plants of Toronto, and that type of thing you would be able to find here. We are requesting that for as much as possible you stick to a simple template, and again we have that template available, so I can obviously share that if you do want it. What we have started doing is pulling all of these species lists and creating a master species list spreadsheet. So essentially, opening it up is probably not a good idea, but we've got, it's a pretty big sheet, and we've got hundreds of thousands of records of species, and we're obviously filling in all this this ancillary data here where we can, where it is available, and then we'll obviously try and work to get that as comprehensive as possible. Yeah, and then there's this folder within the species list folder, which is one of the working groups that Ben Bass is leading, which is kind of where the work pertains to a lot of the species specific information. So if you are part of that working group or would like to be part of that working group, you're welcome to contact Ben, or alternatively just work through this folder and see what is available. Yeah, and I guess that's about it. I won't go through too much more, but that's essentially the layout of this. Once you have access, you should be able to edit. You should be able to make changes to the metadata spreadsheet, etc. But if you are unsure of anything, please let me know, and I'd be happy to walk you through the process. Yeah, I guess if anyone has any questions, you're welcome to shoot. Otherwise, yeah, thank you.